live at Onigashima. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Jimmy, and we're bringing you Chapter 1087 review after a month-long break. Oh, I'm ready to get into this one. I've been waiting for some One Piece. It's been too long.
I'm happy. It looks like Oda's eyesight's doing pretty good because this chapter had some cool panels.
Especially starting with this opening one with Ace. I like seeing him again.
Yeah.
Seeing Ace is always nice.
Yeah, it's fun to see Ace. And the capybara, I mean, it's just, he's taking on the memes, you know? So
let's get into it. We got something I didn't expect. Garp coming back. I thought we were going to go back to Egghead, honestly.
Me too.
But
Me too.
I'm not upset. I love seeing this.
Yeah, and I really do like seeing Garp versus Aokiji, because we were talking about this a little earlier, but it's kind of in Aokiji's favor right now. I think Garp it's not looking too hot for Garp, I gotta say.
Well, he's definitely outnumbered, like they said in the chapter, but he's really only going against the big hitters, which in my opinion look like Aokiji, Shiryu, and Avalo Pizarro. And I guess Swan Wolf, yeah, but he already knocked him into the sea.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, like the most giant guy, and he just went doink right into the sea.
But to be honest, I kind of figured he'd be able to, because we saw Aokiji already one-shot San Juan Wolf, and he was like portrayed to be like on par with him already.
Yeah,
so.
He's just poor San Juan Wolf. I want to see him do some shit. He's just a big guy getting knocked around.
That's what giants in this series have always done. Giants just get kicked around in this series. Which giant has ever done something useful?
Dory and Bragi.
I guess besides Dory and Bragi. But even they haven't really gone against like a heavy hitter. They went against a giant goldfish is their best feat.
A giant goldfish?
Yeah.
You mean Kid?
Well, well, him too, but I think the goldfish was scarier. But
do you think I wanted to I don't think so. I'm looking at the panel now of Aokiji and Garp like hitting each other in the face. It's a cool panel. I think Garp's stance looks a little better than Aokiji's. Aokiji looks like he kind of got chinned right there, but
I agree, but I also think it's the angle that he's like coming in
yeah.
at, because Garp was like standing his ground while Aokiji was rushing him.
Yeah.
But one thing I think this panel and this entire chapter is portraying is how equal in power they are. Like even when they were like younger, we see Aokiji doing the same like training regimen as Garp. Like he's like no haki, no devil fruit powers, and he's like pretty like the dents in those boats are pretty much the same, right? So while I do think Garp's haki is probably stronger, I don't think it's that far off, especially not in his old age.
No.
Like I think Aokiji is definitely coming out on top.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think if they did like a full death battle here, Aokiji would probably win. I think it's implied that Garp is just weakening anyways, and
he did get stabbed.
He did get stabbed. He did, but Aokiji was like, "Don't be fooled. This guy can get stabbed and keep going," which I'm sure is true because we've seen Luffy, which now. Luffy and Garp have the same bounty, pretty much, right?
I love seeing that, actually, the 3 crowns thing. They did this earlier with like Coby's bounty too, and like how you can relate it to the pirates and kind of power scale them like that softly.
Yeah, so stars mean million and crowns mean billion.
Yeah,
essentially, because Buggy was like, all right, we only got two numbers that matter, million and billion.
We're big money ballers here. We don't go for those low numbers. None of this East Blue shit.
Yeah. I mean, they're only giving the pirates, or I guess the Marines, with the most clout, like the.
I mean, they're the only ones that really deserve it, right?
Yeah. So it's like
anyone like captain and up, I think.
Yeah.
Like, cause who really cares about the other fodder?
Yeah, for real.
Speaking of the different captains, like I'm kind of impressed with like Garp, obviously, but the other 3, like Coby, Helmeppo, and I forgot this dude's name, but the mud dude.
The clay. Is it mud or clay?
Oh, you're right. It's clay. Okay. Same shit.
Yeah, he's just another guy, and he was like,
but they're like holding their own against like all the Blackbeard pirates.
Yeah, they're
like
holding
not
their own.
only the heavy hitters of the Blackbeard pirates, but I'm sure these other guys, like, yeah, they're fodder pirates, but I'm sure they're not like nothing fodder, right? Like they made it all the way here in the New World.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true. But
so them along with like all of these other Blackbeard pirates against just these like four,
mhm.
like I think that goes to show just like how strong mainly Coby is. And I actually like to see Helmeppo kind of doing something. Like we didn't see much of it, but it's implied that he's actually helping out here.
You know what?
So-
Well, you know what kind of threw me off guard. This is kind of a little. I don't know if it was a little thing or not, because there's a whole section of when Shiryu attacks him, and he gets Garp, but Garp kind of sees it coming, and he only gets hit because he's saving Coby, right?
Yeah.
Or implied, I guess, like that. And
I mean, looking
he just
looking at it again, it clearly
murks
was like you see the panel of him
Yeah.
like reacting to
and then
it.
he just like murks Shiryu right there, like no diff, pretty much. Like
Okay,
Shiryu was
wait,
like,
but Shiryu gets up in that next panel.
yeah, kinda. He's getting up, but
He's in the process of getting up.
yeah, but then Aokiji comes, so it's like I think, and he got bloodied, bro. Like that guy, he's,
Yeah.
he's
His face is fucking broken.
from one punch. Like, and Garp's just talking down to the guy. He's like, "Yeah, that punk from him fell down, bro." And you would think that Shiryu would be at least like Zoro level right now, right? Like whatever Zoro is right now, Shiryu should be around that, because we assume that they're gonna fight, right? So
I don't know. I feel like he has potential to keep getting stronger too. Like I don't want to say he's Zoro level until I see some real feats from him.
Mhm.
Stabbing Garp is a good one, but like you said, Garp kind of was trying to.
It's kind of
tank it
not
to
a real
protect
feat,
Kobe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But one thing I did want to mention about the stabbing is how like Garp detected it even though he's invisible, but like I feel like Kobe should have decent observation hockey also.
bro, Kobe,
like
disappointment in this
shown-
chapter, honestly. I'm sorry. Kobe fucking
Dude, he fell for an obvious
he
trap.
fell for an
like,
obvious one. Oh my god.
even the clay dude was like, bro, come on.
It's like, come on, man. And people, this is the Kobe. I saw this on Twitter, but I'm gonna steal it. People were like, bro, people were saying that Kobe was gonna capture Boa Hancock. No.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know about that.
No. They're like, dude,
Like-
Kobe glowed up. Like, he is the GOAT now, dude. People were gassing up Kobe
We're
so
trying to
much.
gas him up, but while I do think he's better than what he used to be, he hasn't impressed me enough yet.
Yeah, I agree.
He's still kind of a crybaby, also.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna get his like moment or whatever. Like, I think Kobe really hasn't had his like moment of loss.
Oh, for sure. No.
So Garp is definitely gonna be that for him. And
yeah, and I know we mentioned it earlier, or not in the video, but just to each other. But we both think that Garp is gonna get captured here.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be that moment for Kobe. And eventually, I think Garp is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, that's also going to be part of it with Kobe. I think he's not going to be able to save Garp after he's captured,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to have some type of like awakening, like in his hockey or something.
Something's
and get
gonna
like a
happen.
Super Saiyan power buff, basically.
Yeah, I think a cool way that they could kind of there's a lot of parallel, because Garp, this will be the first time that he's in prison, right? Versus like he's always imprisoning people and putting people and like when he walked up to Roger and like has approached Roger in prison. Did he see Ace? I don't think he did in prison. He just waited until Ace got.
Well, no, because Roger was like, "Look, this woman, I impregnated her. She's on this island. Go raise my baby."
No. I
Ace
I mean
wasn't even born.
after that. I mean, like, I'm just saying in the story in general. Like, did Garp visit Ace while he was in jail? I don't think
I think so.
I don't think so. I don't know. I just watched. I just watched it, honestly, so I know. But because we just
Okay,
got
probably not.
yeah. But whatever.
I know they
you know,
talk while he's on the stand and stuff.
They
like,
do,
about
yeah.
the
So they
dance
meet
and
up. So regardless, I feel like this is gonna be a moment for Garp where he's it's kind of like an inversion of his roles, right? Especially looking at the very last panel where he's like, "Don't lose your head, justice will prevail." That is like looming to me, like I feel like that's him being like, I'm gonna get captured and it's okay because
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter if I die, like justice will prevail or whatever.
Yeah, his inherited will live on. Still.
Right. So
And like one thing that I've also been noticing is like everyone in the past was like, oh, the like Oda is mimicking his arcs and doing like parallels to some of the old arcs, and some like eventually we're gonna get a Marineford parallel. And people thought like Sabo was gonna get captured after we didn't know what happened to him for a while, and they're like, maybe that leads to it, and they weren't super happy about that, and I agree. But maybe this is it, where the inversion is actually not a pirate getting captured, but like you said,
it's a marine
getting captured, and this leads to a giant Paramount War again,
and a big marine getting captured too. This is Garp the hero we're talking about. Like,
yeah, this ain't no small. This is like the hero of the Marines.
Right,
like,
yeah. And he's still active. It's not like Sengoku, he's retired or whatever.
Active in air quotes, because he says he's not, but he's still doing this shit.
Yeah, facts. Well, I mean, like, you gotta still put respect on Garp's name. He's still presumably, like, I don't know, what would you rank him out of all the admirals or all the marine side people besides Imu, including him, like all the admirals?
Top 5, somewhere in there.
I mean, that's like I
think that's like he's beating.
Let me rephrase that, because that's all that I'm saying. Okay, Aokiji, Akainu.
So like entire
Green
world
Bull,
government. I was going just the Marines basically. So I was thinking he's weaker than Akainu, weaker than Aokiji. I think he's weaker than possibly Kizaru and maybe Fuji. Like, I could argue with those two, maybe. But he's definitely stronger than stupid Green Bull.
Yeah, fuck Green Bull. Yeah, he's probably stronger than Green Bull. I can't see Green Bull beating Garp. Honestly, I don't know if Fujitoro can beat Garp, but...
I don't necessarily know if he can either, but... I don't know. We'll maybe see eventually, or be able to speculate later.
Yeah. So I think one of the other things I wanted to talk about here, I just kind of want to talk about the rest of the captains, right, or the Titanic captains. So we saw Vasco shot, which was cool. We saw like he was actually able to like set things on fire, which we kind of assumed that's kind of how he did it. Like, how else would he use liquor as a power? Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you just probably find different ways to use the properties of alcohol to fight, and fire is one of the easiest, right?
Yeah. We saw kind of all of them use their devil fruits. Obviously, we saw Shiryu, which we talked about, but also
my favorite one in the chapter, actually.
Yeah,
the Paulo Pizarro, man.
Oh, man.
I feel like the shots with him as the island, one, look hilarious with the eyeballs and the face, but two, also find a way to look like menacing and creepy. Like,
yeah, I like
the hands coming out of like the island and shit.
It's terrifying. It's like there's real sea monsters that they're dealing with now. He just reached his hand out, he's about to fucking smack that marine ship.
Even though he's surrounded by seawater and he's a devil fruit user, it's okay. He's able to do shit anyways. But to be honest, there was that thing that happened in Marineford too with San Juan Wolf when he shows up with Blackbeard. He's standing in the water there.
Does he have the fruit at that point?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, yeah.
I think he has the giant fruit at that point.
Right. But he's still so big that he's just like touching the seafloor, so he can still like.
Yeah.
He's just like weakened, but it's like not affecting him as much. But now he's like deep in the sea. He's like drowning now.
So, well, I'm wondering if like because of your size, it can affect you less, and maybe something like that could happen to Luffy later, because now we know he can basically grow infinite in size with Gear 5. So maybe he can do something like that to counteract the like seawater at some point. So I don't know.
Could be.
It's interesting to see all these powers, and not only that, but just I feel like these powers actually seem a lot more menacing than when we saw like counterparts of them. Like, this island looks way scarier than Pika.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. I was gonna say Pika, like, yeah, I thought Pika was like, holy shit, that's crazy at the time, but now we're seeing the whole island be like that. Like, imagine how big Pika was, like, in relation to like what we're seeing here. He's probably as big as like, you know, one, like the bottom half of the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Of this,
like, because Pika was just like taking over parts of the island at a time. Avalo Pizarro is like the entire fucking island. And imagine later also if they go to bigger islands than this, because Hachinosu
is small.
Doesn't look that big. It's like, yeah, like imagine if you did this with like Wano or something. Like,
yeah,
that would be
real.
nuts.
That would be nuts. Yeah, I feel like it's a low key like pretty broken fruit.
I feel like I underestimated it a little bit at first when I saw it, and most people did because of the comparison to Pika. But low key, this guy might be kind of nuts.
Kind of dope. Kind of nuts. Yeah, we really haven't seen him do like anything at all of Avalo Pizarro. Like this is kind of
Yeah.
his first
Well,
thing
this
that he
is
pulls
that's
out,
with
right?
most of the Blackbeard pirates. We only saw like the first few original ones do stuff
Same with Vasco
until
Shot,
these
yeah.
like yeah, until these last few chapters, like since Egghead, we've actually seen some of them do shit.
Yeah, true.
But it's nice.
Yeah,
Overall, this chapter pretty great.
pretty great. I just want to talk about like what you think is happening next chapter, because I think this kind of guarantees, not guarantees, but so we know now. I don't think
Do you
Blackbeard's
think
coming
it?
here. I don't think Blackbeard's coming to Hachinosu. I think he's coming to Egghead. I think he's going to
Yeah,
Egghead.
I think he's going to Egghead too, especially because they keep like reiterating the fact that it's like, oh, while he's gone, like we're gonna keep it safe while
Right,
he's
right.
gone.
I don't
Like,
think he's coming back anytime soon. Like he's out. Like he just beat up Law, and now he's going. He's enacting a master plan here.
as he always does.
Because
That
maybe his
bastard
plan
Blackbeard.
was for Garp to come to lure him out with Coby, and
I mean, he
then
did leave Coby there intentionally. Like he was the one that captured Coby and then left.
right,
Like I don't think he's an idiot. He
and
knows like Garp would come.
we haven't seen Pudding yet. So
Yeah, that's true.
I feel
I
like
think they're
Pudding
still
could
he's
be
still
with
with
her.
or with not Garp. I feel like he's with Blackbeard.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like I think so. Pudding might show up on Egghead, and if Pudding shows up on Egghead, we can throw in our little headcanon that Katakuri will show up on Egghead.
All right. All these speculation.
I hope.
I
praying.
think realistically next chapter. So like I said at the beginning, I thought we were going to Egghead in this chapter. So we may or may not go there next chapter. But this is the type of cliffhanger where I feel like we're gonna come back to like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think we're quite done. So I feel like at least the beginning of next chapter is gonna deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we go to Egghead after that. Maybe it cuts back to I don't know, Shanks or something, or Kid getting out of the water. Because while I do think Kid got one shot, I don't know if he's necessarily done in the story completely.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
be really funny if he is. But I don't think he is.
I think it would be. I'd be perfectly fine with it.
I'd be okay with it too, but I feel like he's not. So I feel like we may cut back to like that, but I don't know.
We'll see. Well, anyways, that was the chapter. Well, it was short and sweet, but you know, now we're back on schedule.
Yeah, they didn't say break next week, so I'm super excited to get another one.
I didn't see no break next week.
Best part of the chapter. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and again, as always, fight us in the comments.
Fight us in the comments. We're trying to start a battle out here. Speaking of battle, got a video coming out. It's already recorded.
We're just editing it, bringing it out, but you guys will see soon.
Hype.
Until then,
Hype.
peace out, guys.